Texas Governor Greg Abbott isn't waiting any longer for the Biden administration to do its job at the southern border. Abbott is deploying over 10,000 state troopers and National Guard members as another caravan is approaching the United States. The announcement comes as the Biden administration reinstates the Trump-era Remain in Mexico policy, which requires migrants to stay in Mexico while seeking asylum. Will it be enough to counter the overwhelming surge of migrants entering the United States? Mark Krikorian, Executive Director at the Center for Immigration Studies, joins me now to break down that question. All right, Mark, is it going to be enough?
Probably not. The Biden administration is only re-implementing the Remain in Mexico program because a court ordered it. Something like 4 months ago. They're finally getting around to it. They've made all kinds of exceptions, carve-outs. And, it probably will have some effect because, word travels. And what we saw in a similar sense, not exactly the same thing, but in the Obama administration in 2014, this border issue blew up. And they took some steps, not Remain in Mexico, but some other things that did help damp it down a little bit. And the next year, they just started going right back up again. So this will have a little bit of positive impact, almost certainly, but not enough because it doesn't change the basic legal loopholes that are driving this whole thing.
Mark, are they actually even doing the Remain in Mexico program the way that the Trump administration did? I spoke to somebody from the Border Patrol Union recently who said even if the Biden administration is technically agreeing to some reinstatement, they'll just hide in the folds of the bureaucracy, so to speak. They'll just make sure that it's so slow and so lackluster in the actual execution of the program that it's not really going to matter, but it's sort of a talking point. Is that your read?
Yeah, my sense is probably that. Maybe it'll be a little more effective than that, but I'm skeptical. They're only doing it in a few places on the border now. They're talking about rolling it out to more parts of the border eventually. The number of people they're applying it to is very small. It's only not just single men, because they're not applying this to family members. They're not applying it to whole bunches of people, including LGBT. And past experience in this has shown that, you're probably going to see a lot of guys putting on dresses like Max Klinger in MASH, the TV show from years ago, and claiming to be some kind of transgender thing. And then what are they going to do? Say no? So there's no question.
Can I just explain this? What is the LGBTQ? There's now a special policy involving illegal immigrants. I haven't heard anything about this, so please expand on this.
Yeah, they said specifically that they won't apply the Remain in Mexico policy. In other words, where you have to go back across the border and wait for your hearing date. They won't apply that to all kinds of people. They've carved out, including LGBT people. And so you're going to get a lot of guys who say, oh, yeah, I'm really gay, I'm fleeing persecution, or they'll put on a wig. I mean, I don't know what, but
so as a matter of policy, Mark, it's fair to say that if you show up to the border, you want to get into America, and you say, I am a transgender individual, and maybe you put on a dress if you're a man, or maybe you just say this now becomes, we know with Credible Fear, for example, they were trained by the cartels to say, I'm fleeing violence in my country. Why are you fleeing violence? From whom, right? Well, who cares? Just let me in. This will now work with, I'm a member of the LGBTQ community fleeing persecution. So they've created another open door here, effectively.
Yeah, basically, yes. And the issue is not so much that they might get asylum at the end of the story. They might actually at the end of the process. They might not. But the point is they get into the country. That's the whole point that Remain in Mexico is trying to prevent, is using a claim of asylum as a way of being released and let go into the U.S., at which point you're home free. That's the goal, and whatever can get people that, release into the U.S., people are gonna try it.